Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, we've got Wild Turkey 101. Budget Kingpin is on the table today. Nothing better than a paper label, in my opinion. That's why we're going to do a blind. Shout out to the Glass Turkey boys. Paper label boys all day, man. Where my paper label boys at? Let me hear it. We've got a premium price for 101 single barrel in the Kentucky Spirit. Will it be able to hold its own against the 101 Monster? I don't know. Let's find out.
Bottle drop, bottle drop, bottle drop.
If you know me, you know my story. I've stayed away from things in the past because of the name, because of the bottle. I thought that Old Turkey on the bottle was one of the ugliest labels I had ever come across. Now, I love it. It's a budget kingpin. The bourbon in the bottle speaks for itself. I'm not going off the label as much anymore. Once they went to the new bottle style, new design, whatever you want to say, it seemed like it changed to me. I'm not saying it did, but there was something that was a little different. Now I understand these are batch products, so over the years taste and notes are going to change just slightly. But I also ran into the Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit. That is 101, but that is a premium price that they're asking for this product. I think it's time that I put all of my thoughts to rest and just go ahead, do a blind, get the old label versus the new label, and throw in the Kentucky Spirit, and we'll go from there. I'm not sure how well it shows up on camera. This is A, B, C, so that way you guys watching at home, it'll go from my right to my left. That way it just, it lines up what you're used to looking at when you read a book or watch television. So A, B, C, might not show up too well. I'll try and get them on camera. I'll bring the zoom in, that way you can see that these are A, B, and C. Bring the zoom in. Now on the back of the bottles, same thing, A, B, and C for the Kentucky Spirit. I am going to actually move these and put them on basically my little wheel of fortune and spin them around. That way I won't know exactly what they are. So here we are, we're pouring A. Got a lot of that. Look, like, comment, subscribe. I love to hear from guys that watch the show. So I like to hear what you got, any suggestions you got, any bottles you want me to do, any blinds you want me to do, and just interact with bourbon drinkers. That's what it's all about, Bourbon Drop. All right. I'm not used to pouring with the left hand, as you can see. Give me a second, I'll get these on my little wheel of fortune and get them spun, and we'll go from there. All right, I'm back. I'm gonna go ahead and put them on the wheel while I'm on camera. All right, let's get rid of this right here. Give these things a good spin. Oh! Let's try this again. Now the whole table smells like bourbon. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to give you guys a good nosing or not. That's ridiculous. All right. Got them all spun up. Don't know which is which. I will put these back in their places. Don't know which is which. Get the wheel out of the way. Let's go back to them. Now, first, nose and notes. That's a light lemon, a really light lemon. No caramel. It's a very bright nose on it. No caramel. I'm not getting a heavy vanilla or anything. Maybe once I, go to the palate, it'll change, but a little bit of a tea note, like a light lemon, a light tea. Just a touch, and a little touch of, ethanol on the back. Let's go to glass number 2. That's got a very bright nose. It's a very bright cherry. lemon and cherry. This has a really nice nose, really nice nose. With a little bit of alcohol punch. So far, I'm getting alcohol punch off of the one in first place, the one in second place, and now let's go to the one in third place and see what happens. I've really got to stick my nose deep in the glass to get anything. I'm not getting anything. Maybe just a touch of earthiness and a really light sweet vanilla. Let's get into the reason why I wanted to do this. I've got Wild Turkey 101, which is my budget king. The old paper label is phenomenal. When the new glass turkey came out, I thought it tasted very, very familiar. It was very much the same. The similarities were there, but there was like a light grain note. Now, if you read the back of the bottle, it says aged up to 6 to 8 years. So that's a lot of room for play right there. Aged up to 6 to 8 years. So it could be between 6 and 8 years old, or it could be between 4 and 6 years old. They tell you it's aged up to 6 to 8 years. So that, like I said, that leaves a lot of room for play. But I found it odd. The Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit comes in at 101 proof, and they're asking $59.99 for it. I thought that was a little steep for that bottle. Over here, I do have another bottle, which is a Russell's Reserve store pick, and that thing right there, I want to do a review on it. It is a very different taste from anything that I've ever had. Not saying good, not saying bad. So when I do the review, you'll finally find out. So that's why I'm just setting it up today as a three-way blind. I've already put it on the wheel, already gave them a spun, went through the nosy notes for you. Let me go through the tasting notes. Now, color-wise, all the same. Color-wise, I like looking at them. Maybe it shows up on camera a little different, but I do have a little less in this glass over here, so that one could be just coming off to my eyes a little lighter because it's less in the glass, but really color-wise, they're pretty much all the same. It's just good. It's just good. It's caramel sweetness. It's vanilla. That transfers over to the palate. Mid palate gets creamy. Rear of the palate, a little bit of barrel char. Nothing that's gonna turn you off. I mean, it's just well-rounded, well-balanced, just good classic bourbon. Let's go for a second sip. Yeah, some of the lemon does transfer over, and it just balances everything out, man. It's just that lemon, that caramel. I'm even getting a little hint of milk chocolate. Nothing really changed on the nose. A little bit of an alcohol punch, some vanilla, some lemon. Glass number 2. And the finish is lasting. So I might have to cut this. I hate doing cuts. I might have to cut this to let the finish go. But let's try and get into glass number 2 and see how it plays out. That's a little different. That's a little spiky. It's a little spiky. It's a little thin. I'm picking up a little bit of cherries in it. A little bit of cherries. I'm picking up a little bit of cherries on the nose and the palate. The palate, actually, when it gets mid palate, this is the first time I've ever got like a ginger. Like, you know how ginger has like that feeling on your tongue, that ginger spice? That's what I'm picking up out of this one. This one is actually pretty good. It's just a little thin. It's thinner than the one that was in first place. So the one that's in second place right now just seems a little thinner, and it's coming off. Let's go to the second sip with a little more cherry and like a ginger spice. And I'm really not getting much on the back as far as char. Yeah, that's definitely thinner. Everything else that I just said stayed in the glass, but it's definitely thinner. let's go to what is spot 3. I want to call them spot 3. I don't want to say first place, second place, third place until I rank them. Yeah, still not getting much out of the nose. Now I'm getting like a light, creamy vanilla, and that's pretty much it. Let's go to the palate. I don't know. I might have to run back through these in the opposite direction. For some reason, this one is coming off just a touch thin too. Not that it's bad, it's still good. I'm getting the classic bourbon flavors. I'm getting a little bit of the lemon, vanilla now, a little bit of chocolate. I still think it's more viscous than spot number 2. Spot number 2 comes off thin. It just doesn't hang around long. You do get some of that cherry. And some of the char from all of them might just be lasting on the back of the palate because spot number 1 did have a long finish. And I did not clean in between drinks. So spot number 2, even though it came off thin, I didn't pick up any char on the finish. Spot number 3 does have char on the finish. I'm going to say that spot number 3 and spot number 1 are probably Wild Turkey 101, and spot number 2 is probably Kentucky Spirit. I want to give it to spot number 1. Let me go back to it. Spot number 1 was just rounded. I mean, it was just well rounded. It was viscous. It had all of the nosing notes transferred over to the palate, and they were perfect. And I honestly, none of these are bad. Don't get me wrong, none of these are bad, but you have a big price difference between your Kentucky Spirit and your 101. If I'm gonna spend this much money, why not just get 2 bottles of the 101? So let me see. That one just seems, it just seems balanced, well-rounded, a little bit of caramel. I'm even starting to pick up a little clove now. That clove cinnamon note that I pick up in Wild Turkey, it's almost like a cinnamon red hot. This time it's not coming through as strong. It's very light. It's very light, and it's that really light Wild Turkey cinnamon red hot note. Sometimes it can be really heavy, but today it's very light. So I'm interested to see what these are. Let's pull a veil back. This is A. Don't know if you can see that. A is glass turkey. Oh, glass turkey. I'm a glass turkey. I am a glass turkey. Where my paper label boys at, man? I apologize. I don't know what happened. Let's see what this is. This is B. B is, wow. Oh, glass turkey. Oh, I'm a glass turkey boy. Oh. So that only means that this is C. So, as much trash as I talk about the new glass turkey, the new glass turkey won. Look, I can't lie. It came off way more rounded. Glass B or bottle B just came out thin. So let me rank them now. Let me put them in their proper place. Now that I know what they are, when I took a sip of glass C, it changed up. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Look, either way, Wild Turkey 101 is a budget monster. It is going to slay pretty much anything in that $23 to $26.99 category. I think if you pick it up, you will highly enjoy it. Let's get into the breakdown. Are these worth the chase? Oh man, if you had a chance to pick up the old label just to compare them and see if I'm just going crazy right now, pick it up. Try it against the new glass turkey. Kentucky Spirit, no, wouldn't chase it. Would not chase it. And it's actually on the allocated list for the ABC Virginia market. Would I pay more than retail? No, I'm not paying more than retail, especially for Kentucky Spirit, knowing that Wild Turkey 101 is going to beat it out every time, and it costs half the price, and maybe even a little less than half the price. So, I mean, look, I'm not going over retail. Who would I give these to? New bourbon drinkers all day long. 101 proof will go with a new bourbon drinker's palate all day long, and I don't think they'll have a problem with it. I think they'll find Wild Turkey 101 delicious. Don't stay away from the label like I did just because of the ugly turkey, or now just because it looks weird and it says 101 and it says wild on the front of it. So look, no, in all seriousness, a new bourbon drinker will find these highly enjoyable. Would I like to keep a bottle of this on the bar? You know this is my budget monster. I'm always going to keep a bottle of Wild Turkey on the bar. Kentucky Spirit, once it's gone, it's gone. If I get another single barrel or sample of a single barrel from a store and it is great, I will pick it up. Other than that, once it's gone, it's gone. I'm not putting it back on the bar. With that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out unless you're headed to a drop. Till next time.